on. Yes, I started the live over. I don't know what happened there. Lost it. Guard your privacy and abide by our community guidelines. First, Raphael. Yeah, tigers are still eating. Jency! Darth Yoda! Landon Ferguson! Reese Laurie! Yeah, Michelle S. Everybody, 22 people already. That's it. It's picking up. Everybody knows by now. Hey, if Michael goes down, just go look for the new live. Gee, Melissa F. Let's go. Trump is victorious. Everyone hit the like button. Jency, have you ever seen a guy get kicked off so many times? I don't think so. I don't think I got kicked off. I don't know what happened there. Maybe. I don't know. I can't. My lame excuse gland is all worn down today. Lost many viewers. Don't worry, they'll come back. And if they don't, they catch it after the live. They can watch it again. Sometimes people are driving in cars and stuff, and then they get home and they have stuff to do, and they can like watch it later. That's a nice thing about YouTube. They keep the lives like a video. That's something the other platforms don't do. So YouTube has got them there. That is making YouTube much more superior on these lives. It's just many people don't use these lives this way because it's difficult to walk around and have great internet everywhere you go. It's not that easy. But in any case, when I got to George W. Bush Airport in Texas, I had a bottle of liquor with me, sealed in a bag that gets sealed by the airport security. So you can't mess around with it. It is a bag that says, listen, nobody's messed with this. This has been sealed right where they get onto the plane. So I get to the US, they say, no. It doesn't work like that in the US. We don't trust nothing. We want to open up that bottle. I said, go ahead, sir. You can open it up. You can test it. He said, we're going to search you. Do you want to go get searched in private? I said, no problem. Right here is fine with me. Do your thing. What can I do for you? Just tell me what to do. And then he checked me and he said, no, okay, everything's in order. You didn't do anything wrong. I said, great. I said, but my suitcases are now gone. It's on the flight where this row is going. I am at the place where I need to be, but my suitcases are now loaded for this flight. I don't know where this flight is going to. He said, oh man, run down there quickly to the... He changed like that. Now that is something that I was very, very happy to see. This guy changed from military style to a human being within like that. And he told me, oh damn, run down to that counter quickly and tell him to stop your suitcases and to take you with and go and fetch them. And I ran there and I was too late. My suitcases were already loaded on the plane and the plane has probably left already. So I said, don't worry, we'll wait for it. They said, well, the plane will come back later. And then I waited on that airport for a few hours and then decided we're gonna go. We'll come back tomorrow. It's not the end of the world. I can borrow some clothing and stuff. And I don't know, and buy a toothbrush and soap and whatever we need. So we did that and we got back the next day. Guys, as we walked into the airport, the service was so amazing. They came meeting us halfway with the suitcases and everything. And I remember them asking me, what are you doing here in the US? And I said, well, we're visiting friends. And they said, yeah, how do you know these friends? And I said, well, from Facebook and YouTube and that way. And I said, well, what work do you do? And I said, oh, well, I'm a YouTuber. Wait, let me show you. And they don't want to see on your phone. No. They want to see on their system. And they said, what's your name? Da, 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 put it in. She found my channel. She saw everything. She saw the houses and the animals and everything. So at least they knew I was going to go back. Because we have to have, what do you call it? You have to go to the embassy in Johannesburg. And there's a lady working there. I remember hearing her talking on the flight. My earring, I've got super earring, guys. And she said she's from Seattle. And but she works there. But she was on the flight as well. So back. So I heard some of the conversation and stuff. And it's nice to see the other side and to experience something in its worst form and then see how it changes into its best form. It's absolutely amazing. Enzo there, I can scratch him like this. But yeah, it was a very big experience. And it was an experience that people would not always understand what I experienced. But it was great. But I didn't drive there. I said, no. They told me, Michael, you can drive here. Take the car. Go anywhere you like. I said, no. I do not have the proper license or whatever. I don't know if I have the proper license to drive here. And I'm not doing anything illegal. They told me, you are not allowed to work while you are here. Do you understand that? I said, yes, I understand that. And you know, the door on this house, this is a beautiful house. Guys, this is a nice house. It's also 3 stories, and the door is not locking or opening right. It's a small little adjustment. Guys, I didn't even adjust that lock because that would have been work. I said, no, I am not. They didn't ask me to do it, but it's my nature to do it. And I said to myself, you're not going to adjust that lock. You are not doing a damn thing that is work related, where it could be said that you did some kind of work. And I didn't. I left that door just like that because I wasn't going to do anything wrong in the US. I was respecting the law, but in such a huge sense that I was actually, I didn't want to do anything wrong. I just wanted to do it so right. But it influenced me so much that it was so much stress to just be there, knowing that when you do something wrong by accident even, you could end up in jail. You can be trialed. you can be found guilty. There's those evil people are out there. They're all over the world. One of those could be in charge there. And just because they don't like your face, they could put you in jail. And guys, I'll tell you, my trip to the US was stressful. For me, it was stressful. I know you guys are living there and you've lived there your whole life. And I have lived here my whole life. And a lot of people will think that South Africa it's a thing people say. They say it's the most dangerous country in the world. Well, I felt such a relief when I came back home. Guys, when that plane landed in Johannesburg, and I got off the plane, and I smelled the air, and my nostrils burned from the dry air. That's how dry our air is. Your nostrils burn, that you get a nosebleed 10 minutes after you breathe this air. I felt so safe. I felt so at home. And you know, we flew to Amsterdam, and from Amsterdam we flew to Johannesburg. Then there was that stabbing in France. And there was terrorism happening in Europe. And we're on the plane. And we're not in South Africa. And that is why it's so strange when people tell me, Michael, how safe is it in South Africa? How do you live here? Don't you feel afraid all the time? Guys, I don't. I feel so at home here. I feel so safe here. You have no idea. And I don't know if I will ever be able to convey that feeling. And that is why I still live here. Stacy, it's crazy, eh? Yeah, there was a lot of we had the one thing on the other that happened, you know. And when you're also in another country, you know, and you see car accidents, you see a roadkill on the road, then you realize, wow, this is still real life. And that is something that we as humans have to remind ourselves of, because we tend to forget that. Guys, real life exists in the good and in the bad. Just because you go to another country does not mean you cannot get into a car accident there. It does not mean you're not going to bump your toe against a rock. It does not mean you are not going to fall from the stairs. Don't walk with your hands in your pockets down the stairs. That's an international law. That's one of the best international laws you can ever obey. Do not put your hands in your pockets when you're going down the stairs. Do not run with scissors. It's less dangerous to have a tiger. Yeah, guys, it's funny how this world works. We don't always realize how in detail everything is. I like to say this. If you're in a plane and you are flying from South Africa 10 hours at 1,000 kilometers an hour to Europe, if you take one single grain of sand, which used to be a living organism living in an ocean, that's what sand is. its crushed shell of an oyster, whatever, a snail. And you take that little crushed grain of sand and you flatten it out on one side and you write your name on that little sand particle. And while you fly over those millions and billions and trillions of liters of water, and you take that little sand particle and you throw it outside the window. Not that you're going to be able to open up the window, but if you throw it into the ocean, it will land in the water. And your name on a grain of sand would sink down to the bottom of the ocean, unless it gets scooped up by a current and taken 10,000 miles east or west or north or south. But just because you threw that out of that plane does not mean it doesn't exist anymore. It still exists. In fact, it is the newest foreign piece of a living organism that lived millions of years ago to be introduced in that specific ocean. That's how fine and dense this world is. Don't think for 1 minute you're going to cheat in this world. The evidence will stay. You have to do everything absolutely perfect. There's no room for error in this density of existence. You can go back after many thousands of years where that little grain of sand has fell into the ocean and got covered by all of the newest stuff, keeping it safe right there. If you had the right technology, you would be able to go find that location, go down in the water and retrieve that single grain of sand and see your name written on it. Now wait, what am I saying? I'm saying that that is the kind of technology that will one day exist on this earth. So, cases from 1,000 years ago will be able to get solved. It's not possible now, but it is linked to this kind of density of a world. They will be able to get a reading from a tree that recorded sound for the last 100 years. All of the sound that happened around that tree. You would go and you would find a piece of material rock. Those rocks are listening. You would be able to take that rock and put it in a machine and listen to the recording of when Abraham Lincoln gave a speech. Don't believe me? How would you know? How would you know that that kind of technology will not exist one day? Because things can be written on a disk. This is technology that people on Earth do not know about. Here we've got paper. Paper is the worst thing to record anything on. You can rather write a letter on a stone with another stone. It's more reliable than writing it with $1 million pen that's made out of pure gold with diamonds in on a piece of paper that cost $1,000. That piece of paper will be gone within a few moments. But on that rock, that thing that's just laying there, free of charge, you can write that same letter and you will be able to preserve it for thousands of years. But what else can those rocks do? I shouldn't say all these things, but there is so much being recorded all of the time. It is impossible to even think that anything is impossible. Because with the right what will I call it? Information being shown to the right mind, you guys would be so surprised. I'm going too far with this. I want to leave it on that one. I'm going to leave it on that one. But that is how sensitive this world is. Now, someone will take a raccoon and euthanize it? What are they thinking? What kind of hate will they draw to themselves? Do you see how you cannot do anything wrong in this world if you know how this place works? People who do things wrong do not understand. They simply don't understand. Do you see that thing? That can fly, it can walk, it can swim, it can think, it can look pretty. Do you think that is possible to be made? And not a rock recording everything that happens around it? Or a tree recording everything that happens around it? Guys, we have technology, the evidence of technology around us all of the time. There is not one moment that will allow you to doubt that all of this technology exists. We are on a piece of rock flying through the sky. Yes, flat earthers, we are. And it's being controlled so that it is habitable. It's not too hot. It's not too cold. It's perfect. Look at this weather. A slight breeze. Can you see the perfection? People tend to miss the perfection. They don't see that perfection when they look at this leaf. This is not just any leaf. This is the leaf to a specific tree. It's not just a green blob. That's got little veins and things inside. No, because things are relative to one another. That's why you don't feel it. But we have got an atmosphere around us That atmosphere is keeping us stable. If you don't have an atmosphere, it's going to look like Mars. Mars does not have, it has got an atmosphere, but not a good one. Everything's got an atmosphere. I mean, everything that exists in a physical form has got some kind of atmosphere. You can go on top of water and measure a different kind of atmosphere this high from the water. And this high from the water, it will be a different kind of atmosphere. And this high, a different atmosphere. Because if there's heat, it would make that water evaporate. That's just science. That's just general knowledge. Divine order of things, rhythm, reason, and intelligence. You are correct, Gary. And everything is recorded. Every single thing. There is nothing that is not recorded. And it's not on paper. Someone wanted to see the kittens. I made a video of the other kittens also that was here today. This lady, she rescues kittens and get homes for them. And she needed some antibiotics for their eyes. And I bought some the other day. So, hey Fabrizio, look at him. He's a proud daddy. Oh, look at that. There's two of them. All sleeping. I have to fix this thing. There's a little one over there. Here's a mommy. She feeds them so well. Here comes another one. And there's another one. And there's another one. They are so cute, these ones. Just look at them. But yeah. And if you wonder if you are evil or good, because some people really don't know what they are. Look at this cat. And if you want this cat to be happy, then it means that you are good. If you see this cat and you want this cat dead, or you want this cat hurt, then you are evil, my friend. And you better change, because it's recorded. So to those people who put that raccoon and that little squirrel down, I want you to know that you are evil and you have been recorded. And it will not be swept under the carpet. But that doesn't mean you don't, or you cannot change. You can change. You better change. And you better change really quick. Because if you are not going to change, you are going to be that little grain of sand buried in the ocean underneath everything that gets poured out on it for the rest of eternity. Look at this cat. Look at this tiger. What do you see when you see him? Do you see just a tiger? Or do you see the kind of technology and someone in charge of that technology that was able to tell all those little molecules and atoms to all just jump together and become something that it has been told to be. In this case, a tiger, the ultimate apex predator, the exact weight, size, color, inside and outside, completely sealed with a fur coat. If it closes its eyes, it gets cut off from the rest of the world. A fly can't even go into his ear or up his nose or in his eye. He is in a suit of armor. And guys, I felt that suit of armor of a tiger. When Enzo was about 200 kilograms, he was still sleeping in the house on the bed. And he was lying like that, but in sideways on the bed. And I tried to move him. You cannot move him. He's too heavy. And if you shift him, you move him inside his suit of armor. And when you let go, he just jumps back to that same position. Because this whole skin over him is loose. It's like a different part of him. It's just like clothing around him. The tiger is inside that skin fur coat that seals off from the rest of the world completely. That technology, can you see the kind of what I'm trying to explain? I'm trying to explain the technology. We're able to take a piece of metal, we put it in a machine and we cut it. And we cut it into a very unique shape. And it's got a purpose why we did it. And we take it and we apply it to something and it makes things happen or whatever. Guys, that is the lowest form of technology. That's the very basic. That's like counting to 1 billion and you say 1. Yet, with that kind of technology, where you count up to 1, you can manufacture bombs, you can manufacture guns, you can manufacture evidence, but you cannot manufacture the evidence that is on the evidence. Does that make sense? Because you have to count to number 2 for that. And we have not reached number 2 yet. Tigers hunt naturally. It's their DNA. Yeah, I'd say tigers are not an animal. Now this is crazy. And this is not because I say so. This is because I was told that. Now, a tiger is a soldier. Tigers did not exist. And then all of a sudden they did. I don't want to say too much about this, but I'm waiting for them to discover the first 10,000 tigers that ever existed. Because they are going to be discovered in close proximity of one another. And they were the same age. But I'll wait for that. I hope it happens in my lifetime. And I would just have a little smile on my face when I hear that. That's all I need. I don't need to say anything about it. So, it's not an animal. It's a body designed to be the ultimate killing machine. It's a weapon. It's in the shape of an animal. It's a living being. But it's a military device with a soldier inside. And that is just to show you what a weapon could look like. Now imagine living in a city with 5,000 people. And this city is doomed. But it's going to be destroyed, but not the city itself. That does not need to be destroyed. The people are to be destroyed. What if you could take 10,000 tigers and put them down in that city all at once? We're talking 10,000 years ago. And you leave them there for whatever amount of time. Those people will all be torn to pieces. Some would stay inside their house until their food runs out. And then they have to go out. And the tigers will get them. Some will go out immediately. Some would be outside when they are dropped off. And if they are anything like the Jaeger when he eats, you guys have seen that. Guys, that is not something to be taken lightly. That is a description of a weapon, of a soldier driving that weapon, applying it as a certain mission. That is technology. That is technology that we as people in this world do not have control of. But just because we don't have control of it doesn't mean it doesn't exist. You could have, listen to this is now a crazy thing. I heard someone say that he'll buy the bees, a little mechanical bee, and the bees will get them. You all know that story. But what if I can tell you that you can take this tree and make it grow spontaneously, and make it grow through somebody's head in an instance? You'd say, you're crazy. What? That is technology. That is the kind of technology that exists. Just because we don't have it doesn't mean it doesn't exist. Imagine that. Imagine standing next to a tree and the tree grows, you don't know about it, and it hits you on the side of the head and it goes through your head and you're dead. That is true technology. It's scary stuff. Do not for one moment think that we are on top of this world and we are on top of the food chain and we can just do whatever we want. You want to kill a little squirrel? Don't do it. Don't be the one to need to meet that technology. It would look like an accident. But you are on very thin ice right throughout your life. Because we are guests on this world where something else has got the technology that made it. I think that's all I need to say about that. I don't want to say too much, but you'll see in 1,000 years. I just don't buy the whole it has rabies story. Yeah, they said they had to kill it to test it, and then it didn't have rabies. But doesn't matter. If you can't even cure rabies, what are you doing catching an animal of a person who has lived with it for 7 years and then taking it to have it killed? What is in you? What evil drives you? Because you're just riding along. You're not even lifting your arm up and down. It's evil that's doing that. Yeah, it's a big, you can see rabies from a far, far distance. It is an ugly disease. It's not something that you mistakenly, unless they want to say, oh, maybe it had it for a day and it wasn't that developed yet. Rabies is incredibly deadly, and nobody is going to line up to get drug tested on them, Michael. Yeah. But they show the little respect that they have for that life form. That is what this is about. They now showed it. It's done. It's done. There's no getting around it for them now. Everybody that was involved in that has now done that. It's recorded. And it's not recorded in the rocks and the trees alone. It's recorded by us, by you and me. And we can go and get their exact name and their exact position and their exact everything. Is that something, would they have done the same thing if I have told them that before they did it? Maybe they would. Because, let's face it, they are pure evil. Melissa, if are you saying family friendly to me, please? It's because a woman told on him. And now she deleted every social she had and hide from the outlash. Yeah. Because people tend to interfere with things they have got no right to do. But not only that, it also comes to a point, you know guys, let me tell you this little story about Enzo the tiger. When I had him and the authorities found out about him, I told this story today to someone else as well. There was a certain person who is second in charge of that department in South Africa. And he flies around and drives around the whole country with 9 sets of law books in his car or plane. Because every province he goes to has got a different law. And he told me the day when he showed up here on my sidewalk, and I said, well, sir, come on in. Let me show you the tiger. Because they came here and they said, do you have a tiger here? And I said, yes. And they said, can we see it? And they came in, and then the guy said to me, there's a 99% chance that we are going to take this tiger from you now. And I told him, I looked him in the eye and I said, you have 1% that is preventing you from taking this tiger today. And that 1% is the percentage that matters. You're not touching this tiger. And I said, come on in here, come and see the tiger. He said, no, I don't want to go in. I said, why not? He said, tigers are dangerous. I said, don't be afraid of this tiger, because he is still a juvenile. And the guy he didn't want to go in there. And I said, okay, you know what? Let's stay here in the kitchen. Let's close the doors. You sit there, I sit here. Would you like a cup of coffee? Let's talk about this. And we talked for 2 or 3 minutes. And the guy said to me, you know what? I had a sleepless night last night. I couldn't sleep the whole night because I was sent here to you to come and take this tiger away from you. And when we take that tiger, they don't live. And this guy was having a hard night. He said his daughter cried tears because her dad was going to have to come and take my tiger away from me and take him to a place where he was going to be euthanized. And I said, no, you're not taking him. And the guy was so relieved, because this was not an evil person. This was a good person in that position. And he said, I'm so glad you said no, because if you simply handed him over to me, I would have had to take him to the next place. And they would have killed him. But because you said no, I couldn't take him. Because you are legally allowed to have him. Yeah, that was told to me by him. He said, there is no such thing as a permit for a tiger in South Africa. And he said, but I'm going to have to ask you one question. And depending on what you answer, this is going to say if I can take him or not. So be careful how you answer this question. What animal is that on the couch? That's what he asked me. And I said, that is a tiger. And he said, thank you very much. We are leaving. You are allowed to keep a tiger. If I said that was a lion, they would have taken him. If I said that was a cheetah, they would have taken him. If I said that was a leopard, if I mentioned, knowingly or not knowingly, any animal that was a wild animal in South Africa, meaning that it could exist in the wild, that animal, they would have taken my word for what it is. Because if you speak as a person who knows what he's talking about. As a specialist, you are being taken at that moment. So if you said it's a lion, they load him up and it's gone. But I wasn't trying to be funny. I was just honest having my tiger at my house, sleeping on the couch, and there he is 14 years later. So people, don't make that mistake. When they ask you, sir, what color is the grass? Then you say it is green. You don't say it is blue. You don't say it is red. You don't say it is orange. You say it is green. If they ask you what color is the sky, you say it is blue. Don't make that mistake. The obvious is sometimes much harder to get right than the most difficult thing in the world. And that could cost you way more than you would ever know. Crazy talk, guys. Crazy talk. Michelle.
Michael, donation from Denise Maddox.
Oh, Denise. Oh, Denise. You are such a wonderful person. The last time Denise sent me a message, guys, I sent her a little heart. And I look at that little heart and I say to myself, Michael, this is one of the most purest people in the world. And you reply with only a heart. You better get something better than that. You better say something. You don't understand the little lines there. Wasn't all three a lid. So say something more than just send a heart. Because this person that has sent me this message is so pure at heart. I only responded further 2 days later because it is so sensitive, so I don't have words. It's so difficult to do that because you are now dealing with such a wonderful person that you have to say just something in that line. And it's not always possible to just write a poem, if you know what I mean. Denise Maddox, I thank you from the bottom of my heart. You are such a pure person, such a pure soul. And wow, you are amazing. Bill, you got an amazing, and then she's got a southern accent as well. Wow, Bill, you are so lucky. Yeah, guys, what can I say? I don't think people always understand this world that we are living in, where we are guests. We are borrowing it. We can enjoy it. We can have a great life. We can, everybody right now can turn good. All those evil people turn good. Let's make this worth our while, because we have to do it. There's no other way. Michael, you are most welcome. Denise. Yeah, she's got a beautiful voice, Stacy. I like the rooftop. Yeah, it's my outdoor bedroom. Why would I have an outdoor bedroom in South Africa, guys, if it's so dangerous? Because I mean, if someone's going to confront you on the 3rd floor of your outdoor bedroom, that guy's going to be super mad in any way. Oh, Stacy Star, thank you very much. 7. Wow. Ryan Edwards. Make each great again. Mega. Yes. Earth. Yes. We. That's the greatest thing anyone could have said. Make Earth great again. We have it. It's ours to use while we are here, and we can make it amazing. See, now it's in 720p HD, but Tiger Fence, it goes to 144p. Potato quality. See, now you're telling me that binary singularity. Now I know it. You see, I'm high up in the sky now. So, but my internet is expiring today. Last month I was without internet for a few days, and I only refreshed it on the 6th. So it's going to expire today. Tomorrow so I was worried if I'm going to have internet today. So I wasn't sure. But I still have, because it's for 31 days. It's valid for 31 days. Sun is still shining this way. Big Tamale still picking up sunlight from there. Oh, magical. You know, this is just a normal, this is very old technology. These routers are like 5, 6, 7 years old. So we've got fiber and everything. I don't have it because I don't need it for what I do, because if I have fiber, I would have a problem walking around and transmitting. I can't do that. I can only do that with this little router. So we have found another one of them. So I have 2 of them. They don't make them anymore. I doubt it. I don't know if they make them anymore. But it's very old technology. It's slow. It's not that great. But it does the job for me as a content creator that goes live and that walks around on a premises. Because I used to get just a card for my phone, and I had endless problems. So that works. I will start testing better types again. I think maybe they have something better now because it's been a few years. But yeah, I'm still stuck with that old technology, just because of the fact that I walk around. That is what's making it difficult. I can't have Wi-Fi. If you sit down and you have a live and you've got Wi-Fi, you've got no problem. But if you walk around, it does not work. Yeah, it's funny, eh? Hello, Veronica. Odessa. Well, guys, that's the end of the live. Let's leave it right there for today. I will see you guys again pretty soon. We didn't do the cream now, but it's getting dark already down there, and I don't want to go down there now with only 100 and what did he say, 140p. So if I had long arms, I could have fed the tigers the cream straight from here, but I don't, unfortunately. So guys, thank you so much for the donations and for everything, and for listening. And yeah, I'll speak to you guys soon. Have a great day. Trump is back. We're gonna have a good 4 years. See you guys later. Like always, have a great day. Bye.